It's a tale as old as time. The voices of countless creators have spoken the phrase, gear doesn't matter. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is a little bit of an oversimplification of things, and that gear has its place in the world of all creators. It's definitely not the most important thing. I don't want to push that on anybody, but it does matter. Now, I have tried to make my kit as minimal, functional, and cost-friendly as possible, with the exception of a few things, and I love it. I mean, there's things that I would want more if I had the budget, but it makes videography and even photography, which I don't really like that much, it makes it fun. I think in the past, my gear would fail me pretty often, my entry-level gear, and it killed my creativity. It made me not want to go out and shoot. And because of that, I really think that mid-level or mid-tier gear is probably the way to go for most creators, if you know you like creating or making videos or doing photography. So I will just be going down a list of the gear that I think is essential, and all of it is what fits into my camera bag for run and gun style shooting. So I won't be going over home setup, lighting, and all the poles you need. This is really just kind of the bare minimum, and I'm hoping that maybe this can give you an idea of what matters. Let's start off with the bag. So I have a Wandered Provoke 21-liter backpack in black. It's the version 1. They have a version 2 out now, but I got this one because it was a little bit cheaper. I needed a backpack that could do it all. I wanted a travel backpack that could carry my camera gear, but could also be used to carry clothing and whatever else I need. Prior to this, I had a camera backpack, I had a travel backpack, and a studious backpack for school. This one just checks all of the boxes. It's definitely not perfect by any means, and it's definitely overpriced, but it has all of the pockets. You could take out the camera cube if you want, so you could just use it kind of like a giant duffel bag like backpack. It holds everything safely, like your laptop. There is a secret compartment for your passport and your wallet when you're traveling. This backpack is a little bit over $200 with the camera cube. You could find it on sale, but it was worth it for me because of how it looks. Now, this is one of the few things that I focus on the looks for, because a lot of camera backpacks are kind of nerdy, and I'm not gonna lie, you want to have that backpack that screams, I'm an influencer or, I do something cool. You don't want that backpack that looks like I'm going to my tech. That's fucked up, but you get what I mean. Next, let's talk about the computer. So I own a 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro. This thing is essential. And I will be honest, I think that your computer is just as, if not more important than your camera. Video editing absolutely destroys your computer. It is so frustrating to be editing files that your computer can't support, and your software is crashing, lagging, you're banging your head against the keyboard, waiting for things to load. It kills your creativity, and it makes it so that you don't even want to edit. So before you get that nice new camera that you want, make sure that you have a foundation and that you have a computer that can support those files. For my camera, I am shooting with the Fujifilm X-T4, which is currently being used right now, so I do not have it with me. But for me, this is the best bang for your buck hybrid camera that you could possibly get. I know it's an underdog. Sony and Canon are leading the way for mirrorless, but the X-T4, it just does everything well. It shoots really good high quality video, so it's 4K 10-bit video at 60 frames per second. So you have tons of dynamic range. It shoots incredible photos. I'm not a photographer per se, but it has the Fujifilm film simulations, so you don't even really need to edit your photos. The JPEGs that come out of it are already really good. It's a camera that definitely has its faults, particularly the camera stabilization is kind of crappy, and the autofocus is also kind of shitty. But it's usable, and it's not like a knock on the camera or anything. The low light is pretty decent for having a smaller sensor size. It's definitely not Sony with the full frame, but it's good enough to shoot at night. And I love this camera. It's small, it looks good. The menu system is not great, but once you learn how to use it, just like any camera, it's perfectly fine. This camera runs, I think, for about $1,700 right now for just the body, and then $2,100 for the kit lens. It sounds pricey, but it really is like in that middle tier of cameras. I liked it because it was reminiscent, or the image quality was reminiscent of the Blackmagic 4K. It's definitely not the Blackmagic 4K, but it has that similar like rich quality to the image. And yeah, I love it. I never thought I would go Fujifilm, but it's practical. You have your video and photo that are both high quality in just one camera body, and yeah, there's not too much to complain about. For lenses, the first one that I have is my Fujifilm 18-55 f2.8-4. This is the kit lens that comes with your Fujifilm camera, and normally I would say do not get this because kit lenses usually are trash, but this lens is actually incredibly good for how much it costs. It's built well, the glass quality is there, it has image stabilization. I still use it for my gimbal, and the focal length kind of just gets you where you need to go. So if you could get one lens that's cheap with your camera, it's this lens. My second lens is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. This lens has been talked about by tons of people for 35mm and APS-C sensors. This lens is just a workhorse lens. It's really big, it's a massive barrel, and if you don't have image stabilization, it really keeps everything steady. It's f1.8 throughout the entire zoom, so it's great in low light. It's sharp. I mean, there's really not anything bad to say about this lens. If you're gonna go into the field with one lens, it's like this is the lens you go into it with. My third lens is my Helios 58mm vintage lens. This is a really stylistic choice to pull out. The focal length isn't for everything, but for certain shots, it's just beautiful because it adds that really filmic, cinematic quality to your image. And I even use it for photos, and it looks great. So if you want a lens that's a little bit cheaper, that is all manual everything, this is a great lens to get. You do need an adapter for it, but it's worth it. For my fourth lens, I have the SLR Magic 12mm Cine lens. This is also a pretty stylistic choice. It's a wide angle, and it's pretty damn wide. I don't use it on that many occasions, but if I ever need a wide angle, this is the go-to. For audio equipment, the essential, in my opinion, is a good quality shotgun mic. And for me, I use a Rode VideoMic Pro, which is mounted above me. You can put it on the camera, shotgun style, or you can mount it above you like a boom mic, and it gives you pretty decent audio. Many people have said it before, but audio is kind of the king of video, so it's definitely worth the investment. I do know that Deity makes a great shotgun mic, as well as Sennheiser makes a pretty quality smaller shotgun mic, but this is not something to skimp on. My second piece of audio equipment that I don't think is necessarily an essential is my lav mic, which is my Tascam DR10L. I started using these in college, and yeah, it's great to be able to lav somebody up for an interview, to use as backup audio, or if you're filming something outside, it keeps all of the audio right around here, so you won't have to deal with things like wind noise, etc. So yeah, not essential, but also good to have. For my first camera accessory, I have my gimbal, which is the Ronin SC. It's a smaller travel gimbal, only for like really light DSLRs. It's definitely not an essential. It's something that's pretty specific, and it's only for specific shots. But I do love a good gimbal shot. I love using this for certain things to add a really stylistic element to my videos. I don't know, it's not an essential for everybody, but it is an essential for me. My second accessory is my filters. I mainly use two filters. The first being my Black Pro Mist 1/8 filter. So this filter is really just used to kind of take the digital edge off of digital cameras. So it softens the image, blooms the highlights a little bit, and I pretty much keep this on 24/7. My second filter is my Tiffin variable ND filter. It's currently on the camera, so I only got the case, but this is an essential. If you are shooting outside in broad daylight, for video you have to have your shutter speed fixed, so you need an ND filter to be able to make it so that your image isn't overexposed. Yeah, it's just an essential. You have to have it. There are a few miscellaneous items that I do think are kind of a necessity, some more than others, but I definitely use them every day. The first one is my gray card. This is used to get my white balance right. I do oftentimes use just the Kelvin scale on the camera, but if I'm in a pinch and I'm trying to go fast, I will just do a custom white balance with this, and you pretty much need this to do that. So the second Misc item is my rocket blower. This thing looks pretty stupid, and people always ask what this thing is. It looks like a turkey baster or something, but it just blows the dust off of your camera lens. But eventually I started using it for everything. I started to use it for blowing dust off of my computer screen, my keyboard. And if you want to keep your shots crispy, this needs to be in your bag. And my third and final Misc item is this masking tape. So I don't even know if this is called masking tape. I forgot what it's called. I watched a video and they said that you will use this for everything on every shoot, for everything you do. And they were not lying. This tape could be used to fix anything. If something breaks on set, if your filters won't stay on your camera, if you need to mount your mic somewhere random, if you need to tape up a blanket, this needs to be in your bag. It's cheap. You can get it on Amazon. You just gotta get it. It's a random essential, but it's my iPhone. I feel like a couple years ago, this probably wouldn't be on the list, but nowadays, the iPhone 13 Pro shoots 4K ProRes at 60 frames, so it's more than enough to pair with my camera. And I think that if somebody does not have a camera yet, or they're thinking about getting an entry-level camera, I would almost argue that this is better until you could save up for one of those mid-tier cameras. So this is definitely an essential for me.
So I'm editing right now, and I totally forgot to put in the headphone segment. I use the Sony, you know what? I'm just gonna put the link down below because I don't even remember what they're called. But get some good noise canceling headphones because you'll need them when you're mixing your audio. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yes, I am sick.
Now, not every item on this list is gonna be key for everybody, but I used to love watching those what's in my camera bag videos back in the day, and I wanted to create something kind of similar to just show how personalized a kit can be for a creator. I really wanted to show what matters to me when I'm filming and kind of leave out all of the extra stuff that you don't need. Like, I don't think every creator needs a drone because not every creator is getting paid to go film in Iceland. So I do hope that this can give a little bit of inspiration for people who are looking to buy their kit. And it sucks, it costs a lot of money, but I wish you the best of luck. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.